Hello guys, today we'll be talking about amino acids, its a structure and its a properties. It is one of the most important topics of biochemistry and there are various questions that are asked in the CSIR NET exams every year. Now, in this diagram we can see there are various amino acids. They are joined by bonds which is known as peptide bonds that forms peptides. Now what is peptide? Peptides are long chains of these amino acids that are present here. This amino acids forms a peptides and this peptides further forms proteins and then proteins plays a various eminent functions in our body. Now, amino acids are the building blocks of proteins. These are biomolecules containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atom. They are composed of amino acid, amino group, carboxyl group, and hydrogen atom and specific side chain. The amino group is NH2 group that is, and next carboxyl group that is COOH group. Now the hydrogen atom that is H and specific side chain which is also known as R group. Now these are attached to a single carbon atom known as alpha carbon. The NH2 group, the COOH group, H and R group all are connected to a single carbon atom which is known as what? Alpha carbon atom. Now the side chain of amino acid varies from each other. The R group which is the R group or the side chain which is attached to the alpha carbon atom varies from each amino acid to other. Means like in all amino acids the R group is different. Now let's see in this structure. Here we can see the COOH group or the carboxyl group is attached to the alpha carbon. Now here is the hydrogen atom, here is the amino group that is NH2 group and here is the side chain or the R group. The side chain varies from varies in different amino acids. Here in glycine we can see the R group is H. In lysine the R group is here this is. So in different amino acids the R group is different. Now let's talk about different properties of amino acids. Before talking about properties, we first talk about the nomenclature of amino acid. How the amino acid is named. It can be alpha amino acid, it can be beta amino acid, or it can be gamma amino acid. So how it is named? So let's understand that alpha carbon is attached to COOH group, that is carboxyl group, next to NH2 group, and here to hydrogen atom, and to next R group. If in the R group there are various carbon atoms are present, and then if this NH2 group is attached to the second carbon or third carbon, on this basis the the amino acid is named. If it is attached on the first carbon, that is alpha carbon, then it will be known as alpha amino acids. If it is on the second carbon, then it will be known as beta amino acids, and if it is attached to the third carbon, then it will be known as gamma amino acids. So in this diagram also we can see it is the first carbon is known as alpha carbon, second carbon is beta carbon, and third carbon is gamma carbon. So if on the first carbon, then it will be known as alpha amino acids. If it's on the second carbon or the beta carbon, then it will be known as beta amino acid, and if it is on the third carbon, then it is known as gamma carbon. So basically it is the attachment of NH2 group to the carbon atom which will decide whether it will be alpha amino acid, beta amino acid, or the gamma amino acid. Next, so there are various amino acids which can be standard amino acid or non-standard amino acid. There are total 500 amino acids which are found in nature, but only 20 amino acids are found which can be incorporated into the proteins. That means that these are the 20 amino acids that can form proteins. Other the rest are known as non-standard amino acids. They can be formed by post-translational modifications, or they are present in nature but cannot be incorporated into the proteins. The non-standard amino acids can be like hydroxyproline or hydroxylysine, ornithine, citrulline, and standard amino acids can be glycine, alanine, proline, etc. Now let's talk about L and D isomers or L and D amino acids. So how will we define whether the amino acid is a L amino acid or D amino acids? It is only depending on the NH2 group. If the NH2 group is present on the right hand side of the alpha carbon, then it is known as what? D amino acids. And if it is present on the left hand side of the alpha carbon atom, then it will be known as L amino acid. So it is basically on the basis of position of NH2 group, it will be decided that the amino acid will be a L amino acid or D amino acid. Now let's talk about R and S amino acids. These are also isomers of amino acids. So R and S are isomeric forms of amino acids. The letter R comes from the Latin word rectus, which means right handed, and the letter S comes from the Latin word sinister, which means left handed. Means the letter R signifies what? The right handed, and the letter S signifies what? Left handed. Now this configuration is R or S is decided by reading the amino acids constituents groups atoms in higher to lower atomic numbers. Means the amino acids groups constituents which are attached to the alpha carbon atom, their atom number will decide whether it will be a S or R. Now if two atoms are same, the second or third atom will be taken into the consideration. In other words, atoms of higher atomic number are ranked above those of lower atomic number. It means if one is having a 7 atomic number and other is having a 6 atomic number, then it will be ranked 1 and then it will be ranked 2. Now if it's clockwise, it's R configuration, and it's anti-clockwise, it will be S configuration. So now let's understand it with the help of an example. In this diagram we can see the diagram of an alanine amino acid. In this we can see the NH2 group or the NH3 plus group has N atom has a, or the nitrogen atom has an atomic number of 7, and carbon has an atomic number of what we know, 6. See here 7, 6, then this also is having 6, and hydrogen have what? Atomic number of 1. So here we can see the 7 is larger, then 6, then 6, then 1. But here also there are 2 6. So we have to say which one will come first. So now if two atoms are similar, then we will take into consideration the next atom. See, is higher than 7. So now we will consider that NH2 group to here, and then from here to here. Now what? It forms the clockwise, rotation. So it is known as what? It will say it is what? R. And if it was this NH2 group was present in here, then it will be what? It will form a S or left handed side. So it is the atomic number of atoms which will decide whether it will be R or S amino acid. Now let's talk about the optical activity and chirality. We have talked about the chirality before, that is what? If alpha carbon atom is attached to 4 different groups, then it is known as, if it is attached to different group, there are different groups are present, that is if it is here A, B, C, D, there are different groups. If there are all different groups combined joined to the alpha carbon atom, then it is known as a chiral carbon. Now if the chiral carbon the atoms the amino acids containing chiral carbon shows optical activity. What is optical activity? Optical activity is basically the ability of amino acids or the compounds to rotate the plane of plane polarized light. So if the plane of plane polarized light is rotated to what? If it is rotated to clockwise direction, then it is known as D amino acids or D, and if it rotates the plane of plane polarized light to left, then it is known as levorotatory or L. The D is also known as plus. It is also can be shown by plus sign, and the L amino acid is also shown by the minus sign respectively. Now see, here is the polarimetry. The polarimeter is the device through which the optical activity of a compound is measured. So optical rotation of an optical active compound depends on its concentration, temperature, wavelength of light used, solvent which is used to dissolve the sample, path length or the tube length through which the light is passed. Now optical rotation, the optical rotation is equal to the specific rotation multiply the concentration of solution multiply path length or the tube length in which the solution is present. Now what happens here is the light is passed through the polarizer. It polarizes the light, means it there are different colors of light, and it will form only only one color of light to pass. Now the plane polarized light is passed through what? Through the solution, and this solution will rotate our light to either in anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. On that basis it will be D or L. Now there are normally questions is asked in numerical questions, it is asked to obtain the specific rotation or the optical rotation, and so we have to understand what is specific rotation. Specific rotation is what? Specific rotation is the optical rotation when the concentration of the solution is 1 gram per milliliter and the length or the path length is what? 1 decimeter. So here we have talked all the characteristics of the amino acids, and tomorrow we will talk about what? Tomorrow we will talk about the next absorbance of the amino acids. Thank you.